Welcome to a video where I get to yap about my favorite characters, and I get to share some of my favorite things about them. Also, side note, this is my first long-form video, so I apologize for any bad quality things. Anyways, into the video, I guess. There are many reasons that I love Ranboo and their character, not only because of how much I love them, their acting, and their humor, but also because of how relatable I find them. One of the main things I like about the lore of Ranboo from the Dream SMP is the involvement of Dream, which I relate to in a way to connect with my anxiety. I also admire how real-life Ranboo represents their own struggles in their story. One of my personal favorite streams that I rewatched recently was the Underwalk Saga Episode 1. Over the summer, I struggled a lot with bad anxiety and other things that I'm not comfortable stating on here. I hadn't watched this stream in a while, and I was getting back into the series as it is a major comfort series with me. And after I finished the video, I just sat in my bed wondering how someone I had never met in real life, I never met in real life, and was literally a fictional character, could understand my own struggles so deeply. I got a bit emotional at it, to be honest. The many mentions of betrayal, the loads of anxiety, feeling like you're not in control, and questioning what you even really are, hit really, really hard. Even through the sad tone, I have to appreciate the funny clips that I've watched over and over again because they've always found a way to cheer me up. I have been watching Ranboo for a few years now, and as many people know, time can change people. Over the years, I've changed a lot too. No one ever really stays exactly the same, whether it be mentally or physically. I like that Ranboo has also changed over the years. In my opinion, the main change was when they took off the glasses for the first time and we started working in generation loss. The more years that pass, the more they tend to grow with me, and it feels freeing in a way, because I know I started watching them in one of the hardest years of my life, and it changed me a lot, and now they've grown a lot since that year, and it's a really good feeling. It feels like I can actually let go of things, and even though I may miss their old form of content, it's nice to know that both of us have changed over the years. Before we go into this, I would like to give some trigger warnings before you continue just for your personal use. None of these go into detail, but I do mention these at least once. I go over the loss of a family member, child abuse, family issues, and derealization. Please watch with caution. This section also has spoilers for the end of the game. Please remember to either be ready for spoilers or just have finished the game or something. I don't know. I have both watched and played Night in the Woods, and one character that caught my attention was definitely May. She's a character that may be older than me, but I can perfectly place her in my shoes, or myself in her shoes, as if you're the same person. I'll admit it right here, this game hits you in the most sensitive places. I can relate a lot of characters to my own life experiences and friends. For example, I can relate to May in a lot of the ways she handles Bee's issues in her life. May has never experienced the troubles with her father like Bee has, and May also has both of her parents alive in the first place. She's never dealt with something like this in her own life, so all she can do is give advice to Bee about something she has no experience on. Another good example is Angus. Once again, May has never experienced child abuse firsthand before, so when Angus tells her about the abuse he suffered as a kid, later in the game, May can't say anything about it. All she can do is sit and listen. One thing I massively relate to in May is that she most certainly isn't perfect. Sometimes you are faced with something you aren't familiar with, and you can react badly to it. She frequently says the wrong thing in many various situations, but she still manages to be there when her friends need it, even through all she's going through herself. One moment I vividly remember while playing the game is the moment where May confesses to either Bee or Greg, but I did Bee, about what really happened in the incident all those years ago. She talks about how one day she started seeing the world differently, and something felt broken inside of her. When I played through that bit of the game, I genuinely had to sit there and process what I had read on screen, because that moment in the game genuinely made me feel like I wasn't alone. I cried that night for many things, but the game was definitely one of them. Here ends my talk about my favorite characters currently that I can strongly relate to. Some honorable mentions include, but are not limited to, Quackity, Slimecicle, Badaboy Halo from the Dream SMP, Wednesday from the show, and Nico from Percy Jackson. I hope everyone enjoyed the documentary, and special thanks to my friends who never stopped encouraging me to talk about the things I enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and if I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.